Michael Swickard here. Welcome to Enchanting Stories of New Mexico, sponsored by the Fresh Chili Company in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Our award-winning Hatch green and red chili is brought to you from locally owned farms in Hatch, New Mexico, the chili capital of the world. For those of us who work with green and red chili, this is the best time of the year. Why, Michael? Because we are in the harvest season for Hatch chili, and we're heading into the 51st Hatch Chili Festival. It'll be September 1st to the 3rd this year. I'll tell you more about it in just a minute. For much of the time over the years, I have a special relationship with green and red chili. I'm one of those people to which chili is essential all year long, so I used to make sure my freezer was filled with lots of frozen chili that I got fire roasted, and then I did all the things you had to, put them in bags and stuff and put it in the freezer, so that in the cold winds of winter I could make green chili stew that would make everyone in my family's eyes water with delight. However, I enjoy the Fresh Chili Company jars of chili so much. How much, Michael? I don't put up frozen chili like I did all those many years. No, in the last about 4 or 5 years, I have put the Fresh Chili Company jars in my pantry. And when the desire for green or red chili stew comes around, that happy sound of the jar opening is what makes me smile. There's something else that is set to make me smile. At the Hatch Chili Festival, coming in just a couple of weeks, starts the first 3 days of September over the Labor Day weekend. I am looking forward to seeing the renowned cowboy chef Kent Rollins. He'll be making delicious things and telling lots of good stories. Kent was born and raised along the banks of the Red River in Hollis, Oklahoma. Growing up and throughout his adulthood, Kent helped his father manage a cow-calf operation in the area while also taking care of his own herd. But cowboy camp cooking was calling to him. His first notice by anyone was when he was the camp cook in the Gila Wilderness of New Mexico while helping guide hunters in that area and then making sure their meals were as excellent as the hunting. Then as now, when he was about to take care of a bunch of hungry cowboys or hunters, he was up at 3 a.m. actually, getting the cowboy coffee and sourdough or buttermilk biscuits going. Then he immediately starts cooking a breakfast that's fit for a 5-star cowboy restaurant. It's a breakfast of elk or mule deer and all the trimmings. Now, Kent even bought an 1876, I didn't say 1976, I said 1876 Studebaker chuck wagon. Yes, they made them, and it is a great thing. He was off to fame as a great cowboy cook. Today he has millions of fans on YouTube, where he has a popular channel, and on Facebook, along with being on many television shows, including Bobby Flay. So I'm looking forward to seeing Kent in person. I have watched him on television so long. How long? So long, I think I know him personally and his lovely wife. They actually haven't met me, but I will when we go to the Chili Festival. They not only tell about cowboy delicious cooking, guess what? They show how it's done and lots of great cooking tips, such as how to make fried chicken really crispy. This is important. It doesn't just work for him. When I use his cooking methods, it even works for me, Michael Swickard. So come and see him. He will be there. Here's a bit to know about New Mexico. Some people have asked me about New Mexico. Well, our little slice of paradise has 6 growing zones selected by elevation. The lower Sonoran zone in southern New Mexico is below 4,500 or 4,000 feet. It's mostly grazing and farmland. The upper Sonoran, about 70% of the rest of the state, is above 4,500. And so it is foothills and upper valleys. You see prairie grasses and juniper shrubs and trees along with pinon pines. There's a transition zone with ponderosa pine, a Canadian zone above 8,500 feet with spruce, and Douglas fir, though there's been some tree diseases that have hit those. And then there's the Arctic and alpine zones above 9,500 feet. If you're a hiker, which I have been, you can ascend Wheeler Peak or Sierra Blanca. I've done Sierra Blanca a lot of times, the two tallest mountains in New Mexico, and you can go through most of the upper zones. It's a pretty good walk. It'll give you a lot of exercise. Going up to the top of Sierra Blanca and back for me was about 6 hours, 4 up, 2 down. And speaking of New Mexico elevation, that is the divide for much of the state's wildlife. In the areas that are 6,000 or 7,000 feet above, you normally see black bears, bighorn sheep, mule deer, mountain lions, bobcats, and a variety of owls, golden eagles, hawks, vultures, and some varieties of rats, mice, and muskrats. Below the elevation, below 6,000, you'll always see a lot of coyotes, porcupines, skunks, foxes, jackrabbits, cottontail rabbits, and antelopes, along with rats and mice. You can also find several varieties of snakes, such as bull snakes, king snakes, corn snakes, gopher snakes, milk snakes, western diamondback rattlesnakes, Mojave rattlesnakes, and Sonoran coral snakes. Know this, there is no things that will typically kill you in the state of New Mexico other than falling off a cliff and a very enraged mama bear, though that's kind of unusual. There's several types of snakes that can startle you, and perhaps you get injured, bam, running into a tree. But the diamondback rattlesnakes can make you ill, especially younger people. There's also black widow spiders and brown recluses, which will make you ill. But it isn't like the other areas of the world, such as Australia, where there are snakes and spiders that just flat kill you quickly. No, not here. One last thing, the rattlesnake rattle. Because when what they're doing is trying to not get stepped on by cattle and other large animals, ungulates. The pitch of the rattle is something that cattle do not like. So that rattle isn't to warn you, it's to make a sound that cattle don't like and won't therefore be stepping on a snake. You know, a large cow stepping on you, according to the rattlesnakes, is not something they wish. And the snakes don't want to bite you since you are too big to swallow. Therefore, if they have venom, such as a rattlesnake, it is wasted venom if they use it on you. They want to use it on dinner, such as mice, voles, and rats. I've heard only about 40% of rattlesnake bites actually inject venom. Again, because the snake uses venom to eat, and you are too big. But if they are excitable because, let's say, you're standing on them, you'll get the full load. Or if they're very young, you might get the full load. But again, only about 40% of the time. And again, step away. They don't want to do anything with you. They won't kill you, but they can make you sick. Now, some good news if you want to use the checkout code podcast15. Remember that checkout code as you're checking out. Podcast 15 with the Fresh Chili Company, you get 15% off your order this week. Lots of good tasting chili is 15% off at checkout if you use the checkout code Podcast 15. Speaking of good chili, this last week the Fresh Chili Company is processing Sandia Select, tasty hot green chili in a 16-ounce jar. There is a smile every time you open one of these jars. When you want your food to be as hot as the weather has been, Sandia Select is a good choice. Michael Swigert here with Enchanting Stories of New Mexico, sponsored by the Fresh Chili Company. Fishing in New Mexico. Good news, there's a ladies fly fishing 101 class. It's going to be August 19th. It's at the New Mexico Department of Farm and Game and Fish in Las Cruces. This clinic is open to women of all ages living in the southern regions of New Mexico interested in learning the basics of fly fishing. Participants will learn the basic knowledge and skills needed to get them started on the water. Part 1 of the class, students will learn about the equipment that is used. You got to learn about that stuff. And also skills needed to get them started on the water. How to get set up with the fly rod and reel with leader and fly. The class will cover the different types of flies used for trout fishing, what they represent, knots to attach them, some strategies and tactics. Part 2 will cover the basics of fly casting on the water. They're going to be over at the alumni pond at New Mexico State University to do this. This class will be offered by volunteers of the Gila and Rio Grande chapters of Trout Unlimited. Go to their website, the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish, to enjoy these clinics. Now, out-of-state anglers must purchase an annual fishing license, a one-day license, or a 5-day license. Fishing licenses in New Mexico are April 1st to March 31st of the next year. The license is not required for 11-year-olds and younger. You get the license online at the New Mexico Game and Fish website. Now, if you're like me, 70 years of age or older, your fishing license is, are you ready? Free. If you have a fish for dinner and you use the Fresh Chili Company products to enhance it, do this for me. Take a picture and post it and the recipe of how you cook that fish on the Fresh Chili Company Facebook page. It can make you famous. A little chili news, both Big Jim and Sandia Select is being roasted. They come in 16-ounce jars. Again, that I say cause a smile when you open them. One thing for sure, all chili peppers are not the same. Some have more or less taste heat. Others taste a bit more sweet. Well, now the same is true for onions. Yes, I like onions. Those are onions that are not as strong, not as pungent as other. They are sweet onions when they are that way. Now, there's a new product at the Fresh Chili Company. It's Hatch Sweet Onion Dressing. Great on mashed potatoes and on steaks. I know because I have done it. About 10% of onions grown in our area are sweet in nature, meaning they're not as strong as what other people have. Use the checkout code podcast15 to get 15% off your order this week. New Mex Sweet is a holding name for several onion varieties that have high productivity, low pungency, and are disease tolerant as compared to other onions. New Mexico State University researchers have been working on onions clear back to the days of Fabian Garcia in the 1920s, 100 years ago, who started many of the programs for chili peppers, pecans, onions, and cotton. Michael Swickard here with Enchanting Stories of New Mexico. One thing that happens when people live in Las Cruces, or you happen to be in our little slice of paradise, you can come by the Fresh Chili Company gift shop at 1160 El Paseo Road, Suite D7A in Las Cruces. The gift shop is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, I need to tell you about some of the new products at the Fresh Chili Company that I find wonderful. And number one was something I've really have enjoyed, just been out for a small period of time. It's a local honey that is mixed with Hatch red chili. Boy, is that great on biscuits. That's where I found it. Now, there's also French fries are ever so much better if you use the Fresh Chili Company's Hatchup. Yes, it's like ketchup, but it's Hatchup. It's ketchup and Hatch red chili. Hatchup. Come browse at the gift shop. There are many more surprises. There'll also be some frozen surprises you may find wonderful. Again, that is Monday to Saturday, the Fresh Chili Company gift shop at 1160 El Paseo Road, Suite D7A in Las Cruces, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. This is Michael Swickard with Enchanting Stories of New Mexico, brought to you by the Fresh Chili Company. Thank you for your time today. We will always have lots of news and stories about New Mexico on these podcasts. Now, here's an offer. If you have something or someone you would like me to talk about, email me at michael@freshchilico.com. michael@freshchilico.com so that I can talk about something or someone you would like me to talk about in New Mexico. New Mexico history, culture, whatever you want. I will talk about whatever you send to me, michael@freshchilico.com. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, yes, and eat plenty of that good Hatch Valley chili. Like I always say, some chili is good, more is better. Bye for now.